joining us from. This is an IG Live with Dr. Cosmas Maduka, and we're hoping this will be a monthly interactive section. And today we will be doing a Q&A with him. I will start by asking some of the questions, and you will at some point have the opportunity to ask Dr. Cosmas Maduka questions. And the theme of this month's discussion with Dr. Cosmos is reflecting spiritual values in business, And this actually is the first time Dr. Cosmos will be doing an Instagram live, right? So I happen to be the first time to make him do a podcast interview. And first time he's also doing an Instagram live. So as you are joining, I'd like you to tell me your name and the city you are joining me from. Okay, tell me your name and the city of the world you're joining me from. Very, very important. So your name and the city of the world you are joining me from. Shortly, we're going to be having Dr. Cosmas Maduka join us. And a request for him to join, and I hope he's able to join as well. I have Sherry from Lagos. I have Prof. Tish from Ghana. Hey, how are you, sir? Clement from Basham. Okay, come on, guys. I thought you would celebrate as we have Dr. Cosmas Maduka doing his first Instagram live. Can we celebrate him, guys? Come on. Okay. I don't know if you have a selfie stick that can hold the phone for you, sir. Is there a selfie stick? Let me see. Let's hope he's able to. What's going on? It's frozen. By the way, can you guys see me? If you guys can see me, let me know whether it's frozen from his end or it's from my end. If you can see me, let me know so I know whether the freezing is from my end or from his end. Okay, can you guys?
Yeah, Steven, can you see me? Are you?
Yes, we can see you now. I hope
Yes, I can hear you now. I wasn't hearing you before when I was seeing you, but I can equally hear you now.
Okay, do you have like a selfie stick, something to hold the phone? It's
yes,
perfect this way. It's better this way because the light is facing you.
Yes,
now.
that's what I was trying to figure out the best way. So I think it's much better this way. Is it okay now?
Yes, okay.
Did you?
Okay, but if you can shift to the back a bit so we can see your full face.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see.
Perfect.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, come on, celebrate the great man, the sage in business, Dr. Cosmas Maduka. Please help me welcome him. Welcome him. By the way, this is his first time of doing this, so you really have to appreciate him for attempting to be Gen Z compliant.
It's difficult for me, but I had no much choice but to oblige you this opportunity so that I'll start talking to my audience I requested.
Yes. So we hope to make this every month. So guys, you will have opportunity to ask Dr. Cosmos your questions. If you check the Instagram live, there is a place you see a question mark. That is where to drop your question. We will only take questions that come from there. But our focus today, I will ask a few questions around reflecting spiritual values in business. And after I ask him a few questions, we'll now start taking your own questions. And like I said, this is going to be a monthly interaction. He wants to be able to mentor young people, mentor young entrepreneurs. At this phase of his life, he wants to give back. And the best way anyone can give back is to teach you how to fish, not to be giving you fish. And if someone at this level can create the time to inspire younger people, share ideas, I think that is great. So again, please go to the Q question part and you can type your questions. So my first question to you, sir, is, by the way, thank you for coming. My first question will be, um, when you started your business, did you ever feel um, that there was no need to necessarily, carry the Jesus, on your head the way you still carry it today? And if you had felt you have to mix your business and your spiritual values, why was that important to you?
Yeah, Stephen, it's remain a conflict for a lot of people who are not very sure
Yes.
who they are and who are somehow embarrassed with their identity. Quite a number of people often ask me, how do I manage this? Don't I think I make some people uncomfortable?
Yes.
I tell them, the really true way to live is
Mm.
to be yourself. People will
Mm.
respect you when they know you are yourself.
Come
Uh,
on.
there's nothing like being authentic. When people know this is who this guy is, this is who they are dealing with.
Mm.
Uh, when Atiku used to be the vice president, I go see him. I carry my Jesus badge on my mat to see him. I go to Dubai, I go to Bahrain, I go to Kuwait. I don't remove it. Incidentally, quite a number of people respect me for it, because they know this is who I am, this is what I believe. A lot of people, are embarrassed about it in the sense that because they are not sure who they are,
Mm.
and they go to places where they should not carry the badge to.
Mm.
So when they try, or do I put my hand over it so that I can pass? So, but just who, and I will tell you the truth that I've done this since I was. I know where my source is. I know where I'm coming from. Um, I wouldn't be anything without God. And met the Lord Jesus Christ at a very tender age before I turned 15. I will say, you can't take my success away from my Christian belief.
Mm.
You ask me, oh, what about all these people who are wealthy, who are not Christians? The truth is that they follow principle, and all those principles are Bible key principle that they follow. Because God said, I am a respecter of somebody who respects my word. They get to result because they follow principle. Principle don't like Stephen Akintayo and then hate Cosmas Maduka. It respects anybody who play by the same rule. So it does not segregate. It doesn't know who is Nigeria, who is Japanese, or who is an American or European. So
Mm.
what I tell people is, if you understand the teachings of Jesus, a singular keys to the kingdom of God. There's no one master key to unlock all the promises. You got to
Mm.
find key for everything. And when you have that key, you will approach that issue with absolute confidence. And when you get there and put the key to open, because you have the right key. But
Mm.
if you go there with the wrong key and come with your emotion and try to, apply different sentiment, you will be talking and the door will be telling you, give me the right key, I will open for you. But if you stay there and speak in tongue and do all of the things you want to do, the door will be saying, I do not understand you. If you put the right key on me, I will open. And then once that key comes in, it opens. So the thing is for one to find what are the keys. There are keys in running business. You need to find the right key for it. There is keys for prosperity. There is key for healthy living. You can't use one key to open all. Unfortunately, though some of us in Christianity believe that prayer is the key, is the only key. No, prayer is a principle. Prayer does not have a principle. You can only pray when you have followed principle. Then it is an ice on the cake. But take for instance, if you know that the law of a seed is a fertile ground with moisture and atmosphere, and you keep a seed on the table and pray and fast and speak in tongue, the seed will be telling you, why not please give me the land so that I can yield for you? And then you keep it there and praying. Your prayer is as good as nothing. But if you put that seed on the ground, you can pray. Your prayer will fertile it more. But even if you don't pray because you obey the law, come back, you will see the seed, spring up. So that's many of us miss it and, try to hit rock and we're not getting the desired result.
Fantastic. By the way, guys, welcome as you're joining us. This is a monthly, by the grace of God, interview we'll be having with Dr. Cosmos on his page. He wants to interact with those of you who follow him. Please, if you have questions for him, drop it in the question box. Don't type it in the general chats so that we'll be able to see, because a lot of chats are coming up, people thanking him for coming. Everybody is happy that they are seeing him. He's giving this knowledge, but your question should be in the chat box. So I'll ask him one more question. Then after that, I will start taking the questions you guys have for him. Like I said, we'll try and make sure we do this every month on IG Live. And we will also put this on his YouTube page, his LinkedIn page, and his Facebook page, so that more people can be mentored by the recordings of this interview. My next question will be, people will say you can never grow your business in Nigeria. You started in Nigeria. Today, of course, your business has expanded different countries. You recently started a business in Japan and all of that. But people will tell you that in Nigeria, you cannot grow your business without giving bribes, right? So as a Christian, how do you deal with pressures that comes with, you're in the system, if you have to have your way, you have to bribe somebody, you have to give somebody something. How do you handle that?
Okay, this is very important because for some sincere Christian, this has become a big conflict, and some people actually throw in towel at a certain level.
Yeah.
I don't want to, mess myself up. I don't want to compromise. I've also seen some ministers that are very deeply sincere preach bribery that some people, are really afraid. Let me make myself very clear. Like they made it like they didn't get it right and the way they present it, and people are scared to death, but ask me, how did I cope? Initially it was difficult because growing up having small capital doing business, you are under the mercy of some people. Nobody is afraid of you. People try all they can to take advantage of you. But I to explain to Christians who are sincere that there is a different thing between extortion and bribe.
Mm.
You must get it clear. And I will go ahead and explain. My understanding as a bribe is when I try to influence you with money to do things that you ordinarily should not do. Take, for instance, if you were to maybe wait for me, if assuming I'm a customer, I come to buy goods from you, I'm just coming from elementary level, and you close this 5 o'clock, and then I tell you, if you wait for me till 6 o'clock, I will give you 10,000 if you can wait for me for 6 o'clock. That's right. I am trying to influence you with money to do something maybe you should not do. But if it is left with your discretion, that to have customer satisfaction, that you can even work outside the working hour to be able to do something. And I with you, can you please wait for me till 6 o'clock, that I'm on my way, I'm running late. And I get to your place by 6 o'clock or 2 minutes after 6, and you are still there. You supply my goods, attended to me, and when I'm leaving, I give you 5,000 or 10,000 or 20, as the case may be. I have not bribed you. I have just shown gratitude. Nothing you did to me that was out of your normal course of duty.
Yeah.
Just being a gentleman to show appreciation. And I explain this to you. Sometimes I get to the floor at my office and work. One day, I have supplied goods to a customer, one of the customers. I attended him very well. He was so pleased that he gave me 2,000 naira because he didn't know who I am. All my staff were around laughing. I collected the 2,000 naira and I thanked him because I gave him service. I gave him a service that he ordinarily, I make him happy. There was nothing outside of the course of the duty that I did, but you win when you serve. Now, I said that point in elementary level, but I'm going to take it a little bit up so that you can understand. I am a businessman. I'm an importer. In different things we do, we are into different things, but in addition to that, we import product. Assuming I import piston ring. Piston ring is a part of internal combustion engine that is inside rings of piston. And the tariff heading is 87010 for parts of internal combustion engine. Now, if I meet a greedy custom officer who knew I have imported piston ring, parts of internal combustion engine, but he will go and quote ring that you put in your hand, that tariff heading for ring that is for human body, has nothing to do with internal. Now, if the rings for the automotive component is 10%, he's quoting a rings that pay 70% just to extort money from me. And I tell him clearly that he is wrong, that this tariff heading is using has nothing to do with internal combustion engine. And there's also what they call nomenclature. I can bring the nomenclature that will show, explain clearly that the rings you put in your hand is different. Now, this custom officer tell me, well, he can help me, but if I don't want to help myself, he will not do anything. Now, remember, maybe I have 1 or 2 or 10 tenants. There are demurrages that are counting. I had borrowed money from the bank. The money I borrowed from the bank, interest is counting. And there are a payback day that I must return that money. And I have no place to go and report this custom officer. Nobody I will go and report him that he will be maltreated. Now, if he insists that what I will need to give him is 1 million or 10 to release my goods, frankly speaking, I will give him that money. I've not bribed him. He has extorted me. He uses his position to extort money from me, because the money I'm paying him, he has not done me any favor, but he's using his position to punish me, and I know I cannot easily seek redress. Now, I discussed this with a pastor. He told me that I'm trying to rationalize that after all, that what I the bribe, I should not. I said, Pastor, thank you very much, but let me ask you, if you are driving your car in the evening and a guy stop you on a traffic and put a gun in your head and ask you your car or your, will you tell him to give you 1 minute to pray about it? You will step, if you step out of the car, I said you have bribed him because he paid you. You have bribed him because you bribed him for your life. If you didn't step out of the car, he will release the trigger on your head and take your car. So you don't need to tell him, excuse me, give me 5 minutes to think about it or to pray the car. So if you don't call that bribe, why do you call somebody who uses his position and knowing nothing I can do? And this business is also my life. If you kill that business, you kill me.
True.
So bribe is when I give you money to influence you to do something that you are not permitted by law to do, to turn your eyes the other way and allow me to get a benefit that I do not deserve. Then I have bribed you. The same thing is applicable. If somebody use a gun and overpower a young lady who was working on herself and have sex with her, you tell me that that lady is fooling around, that she's loose, she's sleeping with a man. So there are sometimes people can go overboard and become legalistic over issues. When you do your normal job without me influencing you, you give me service that please me, I can dash you money. That is called a tip. If you would, and that's why in business we say you win when you serve. Your service decide whether how far you are going. If you don't give good service, nobody show gratitude to you or whatever. But when you have served me food, you didn't dish more for me. You are only bringing the food other people have dished on my table, but have no courtesy. Try to talk to me and show politeness. If I give you money when I'm leaving the restaurant, I didn't bribe you. I don't know if that throws light to it, but everybody is entitled to his opinion on this matter. So it's not a doctrine, but what I'm saying is,
one more time, can we celebrate him for this? And you see why we wanted to do this. I mean, it takes a lot to convince him. I mean, there's a lot I've had to convince Dr. Cosmos to do in recent times that is not just, but I know that a lot of people will be blessed, because a lot of people are trying to rise to the level people like him are, and are struggling with how do you go about it? What do you do? One of my own strategies is engage consultants. So what I do in my case, I engage consultants and they interface, right? So, with the government officials. If the consultant now charges me, one of my own strategy, right, now charges me extra because he has included what is being extorted from into what he's charging me. Because of course, when it goes to the official, they will demand for this, they will demand for that. That's okay, right? So that's also another strategy. One is that, of course, it's your business, and the person has extorted you and forced you to pay, and there's nothing you can do. The other one is you can also get a consultant when for me, when I know this particular sector is full of corruption and people will always demand something, I get a consultant who help me go through all those negotiations with them, and I know I'm paying the consultant for his services, and he just take care of the rest. But ultimately, for you to now be the one asking to give bribe, that's what Dr. Cosmos is saying. That's when you're actually committing bribe, because you are the one telling the person, I'll give you X amount, look the next way, favor me, but I'll give you this. Now you are the one committing bribery. But if it's the person that is forcing you to say, I will not sign this, I will not do this except you do this, then at that point, it's like someone putting a gun on your head. I mean,
Sure.
there's nothing you can do, so that's a fantastic analogy. I have so many questions that have been coming in. I also like, guys, if you can ask questions around today's topic, which is reflecting spiritual values in business. Of course, we still have many other topics, but try and stick around the topic. I think it will help us so that because we want to pick certain topics per time and focus and dive deep on those topics. So the first one I will take is by Akarand Company. I believe this is company's page. It says, "Good evening, Dr. Cosmos. With the current economic conditions, how can we ensure the sustainability and growth of my business while adhering to Christian principle, honesty, and integrity?"
Well, it's subject to what kind of business you are into. You know, yes, the economy is bad, very critical. All of us are in it. Everybody that is in this country today who say he's not feeling the pinch of the economy must be doing something else that we do not know. You are not playing on the free market. If you are, take for instance, with the recent devaluation, if you're assuming you are an import business, you require 3 times the money you need to do the same level of business you used to do before. Because whereas before, when you have 700,000 or 700 million, you can buy $1 million. Today you need like 1.5 billion, 0.45 billion. That's already double. So the need for more naira has existed in your business, because if your obligation is constant, you say you have obligation of $1 million, instead of now looking for 700 million naira, you are looking for 1.5 billion. If it's like mean you have obligation of $10,000 before, instead of looking for 70,000 now, you are going to be looking for 150,000 if it's $100. So that's how the economy has gone. But subject to what you are doing, it affects different industry in a different way. Like those of us who are in automobile industry, it's really hard, because today hard for somebody to come and pay you 1.5 million, 1.5 billion to take a car. If you are looking for a Rolls Royce today, you have to give us 1.5 billion to drive a car out of showroom, that once you drive it out of showroom, even if you return it that same day, you have lost 25% value of it. So people like Stephen, your business are very competing with us today, because somebody will be say, do I really want to buy a car that after 2 weeks it become 1.2 million, 1.2 billion naira, or do I put this in a property that after maybe 3 weeks or 1 month it become 2 billion, or it become 1.5 billion? So that's the kind of challenge we have. So depending on the industry where you are, you need to be a little bit innovative. So what do we do today is that we cannot carry more than 1 unit of Rolls Royce in stock. So we have to pre-sell. If you are looking for it, we will, with information technology, we can build your car, show it to you, your color and everything, and you make non-refundable deposit, clear non-refundable deposit,
Non-refundable.
non-refundable, because we don't want to bring the car and you said you have some financial commitment, so it's non-refundable deposit, or at best you pay cash, then we bring the vehicle in for you. So we have gone back today to get a Chinese brand. We are in charge of jury now, because most of European brand car, even American car, cannot sell anymore. We used to sell Renault. One of the cheapest Renault we have used to be 25 million. Today, no car you can almost buy anything less than 30 million. I'm not saying 50 million, 30 million. In this same market, during Koja in 2003, I sold BMW 3 Series for 2.9 million.
Jesus.
2. Now, if you get 3 Series BMW today, it will not sell anything less than 80 or 100 million.
Wow.
So now, people need to think, do I need to buy a car? So people we are now selling, my industry now, are super rich that patronize us. Because if you listen to biblical principle, a righteous man liveth wealth for his children. You can't leave your suit for your children. You can't leave your car for your children. You are not leaving a wealth for them. You are leaving a liability for them. The only thing you leave for them is estate that is real, which is property. That's why they call it real estate. So if you plan to leave wealth for your children, you got to give them a piece of property where you said, go and inherit this, or this is for your family. So people who want to be righteous, who are Christians, who understand biblical principle, are saving money to put it in a piece of property, not just to keep a nice suit or nice tie or flashy car. So it's like backfiring, but the good enough, we are in different industry. We sell, sachet water, we sell bottled water, we sell ice cream, we sell parts of internal combustion engine. So if you buy a new car, come talk to us. We keep your old cars on the road. So we are pharmaceutical of automobile. So that's why we have different portfolio. If we don't have putting our eggs in one basket, so it depends on what business you are. There are times our automobile business will go down, our component business will go up. So, but still on the group level, we still operate average of 85% or thereabout, or 90. Whereas some business are doing 120%, some are moved down from 100% to 70 or 80%. But if we put them together, we still work within our budget.
Fantastic. I mean, that was a good one. By the way, please send your question to the Q&A section. So if you just type in the general chat, I will not read it because more questions will have covered it. So you will see an icon that shows question mark. That's where to go and type your question, and I'll be able to read those questions, and Doctor will answer them. Also, remember, this hopefully will be a monthly interaction where Dr. Cosmos will be attending to you guys that follow him to answer your question. I know some of you are following me and watching this, so don't forget, follow him at official Cosmos Maduka. This is his page. Somebody was asking that you send DM. By the way, my team and I have seen so many DM people have been sending to Dr. Cosmos, and unfortunately, he won't be able to answer those questions. Right? That's why we decided to do this kind of live interview so that you can ask these questions here. Right? He's a very busy man, so thinking that you could just send him DM.
It benefits other people than only me spending my time with one individual as if I don't have any other thing to do. If I could stop, you want me on this Instagram. That is the truth. So I still have to, yeah.
Exactly. So please understand that. So those of you who say I sent him DM, he didn't reply. You can't reply. I probably guess this is the first time in his life he downloaded Instagram on his phone.
Yeah.
So There's a lot to get him here, but question here he would, and we'll make it every month so that at least you have a feel of him. Tama Inse said, "Sir, please, how can a young entrepreneur in maritime and oil and gas sector soar in such a sector that is based on connection, recommendation, and he has been trying his best and also believing God? Please advise such a young person. Thank you for this live broadcast."
I would like him to listen to me very attentively. The truth is that if you are going into an industry that has barrier entry, if you are getting into maritime industry, it has a barrier entry. And what do I mean by barrier entry? The kind of capital you require to make inroad. So your first best bet is to work hard and see people who are already in the business and see what value you will add to them. What do I mean by what value you will add to them? Is to see how not only learning under their feet, but how you can add value with information or services you have. Sometimes they will not give you what you want, but you have to accept whatever they are giving you, because in that process you are learning under their feet, you are getting some of the secret that is required, you are having a social capital by interacting with those people who will not ordinarily talk to you.
Yeah.
Don't only look at capital as money you keep in the bank. There are social capital by those people you meet, and that you are building a relationship and everything. That's the line. As you continue to believe God and add the value as much as you can, one day something may look like something went wrong, something will go right, and you'll find yourself into the real key. Otherwise, the only thing you need to do is to go and float a company and look for investors who will bring such huge capital. And why do you think any investor would like to invest in you when you have never showed anything substantial that he can say this has been proven? You are a risky person for anybody to invest in you. So you need to pay your dues. And what do I mean by pay your dues? Is to serve under people, learn under their feet, add value to them, take the crop that they leave for you on the ground, but manage it well, and be saving it and seeing how you can be doing that. Once you start building your own capacity, you have a bargaining power. Many people looked at me. It's like I was born Kosharis. I was not born Kosharis. Frankly speaking, people exploited me. Long, big time. But I knew if I said, you are using my brain, I'm not going to keep any information. I'm going to keep this in my head. Those information were rotten in my head because there's no wanted. People used to come and ask me, what do I think is selling that they should import? Because apprenticeship, I can do focus. I know what will become needed or demanded in a product. And I used to give it pro bono. When the goods come, the people will allow me buy part of the goods, give me what. But as I continue to make money, I venture into importation. So I use my to buy the things I know this is where the major profit lies. When people come to say, give me information, I said, yes, I used to give it to you free. The condition, I'll give you information and I'll guarantee you that we'll make 70% profit, but you give me 10%. If you don't want to, because the equation change. So it's like if you're a best soccer player, and you can play better than Ronaldo. If nobody exhibits you to let you play, for people to see you have the skill, all your skill will die with you. You are the best architect when you draw a building, people never see any building like that. The man who gave the first chance, who is willing to allow you to make a drawing for him, and they actually put money behind that drawing so that the building will be standing. So if the man insists you make that drawing free, if I were you, I would do it. Because when that building is standing, I can text Stephen tomorrow and say, I drew this building. Go and ask him. This is my. So if you are making a building, give me opportunity to make a drawing for you. So nobody is able to bring what is in you out. Many times we overprice ourselves when we have not get a bargaining power to begin to negotiation. So the industry you are going on it has a barrier entry. You are not selling bread, you are not selling milk, you are not selling, sachet water. Anybody can go in there. You are not selling cement. So if you are in the maritime industry, it is a barrier entering business. Capital is required, knowledge is required. You can't just come and have that kind of breakthrough that you are looking at unless in Nigeria context, if your father is president or a minister, things could happen in other way. But in other international world and the way business is run, what I'm telling you is the way to go. Just see how you can add value to people who are in that business and allow them accept you to play among them, and you use their social capital to begin to develop yourself.
Fantastic. Come on, guys. Can you celebrate him one more time for again? These are fatherly advice. These are somebody who has over 40 years experience in business, coming like this, giving back and sharing. I keep saying it. This is the best way you can give back. This is how to drop legacy. Even 30 years from today, if God tarries, 100 years from today, if God tarries, people will watch this interview and said there was a man called Cosmas Maduka and gave this advice. And for me, I'm happy to be part of this Koschari's legacy project, where he's in this season of his life giving back, speaking at conferences, empowering young people and sharing wisdom that he has used over this last over 40 years to grow a multi-billion-dollar corporation across the globe, as a matter of fact. So help me celebrating one more time, particularly for at least giving me the privilege to encourage you to do this and doing it, because I know it's always a tough time, him creating this time to do this. Right. The next question, by the way, we have questions, a lot of questions here. So I don't know. Once you are done, just let me know and then I'll stop taking the questions. But we have so many questions that people have been asking here. So hopefully we'll see how many we can take before the day runs out. I have Precious Azino.
You can also take a little break and look at this question and see, the ones that are similar, and maybe reframe them so that it can take them, so that they don't, because individuals are asking questions, or somebody can do that for you in the background, so that we don't have one question two times, so that we can see there are similarities of questions that we can group together, so it makes it a little easy. Everybody get a little piece, but not maybe dealing with the whole thing on one.
Exactly. The good news, and guys, that's why we said type your question in the question chat. So while he has been answering, I've been able to go through some other questions, and then so please put your question in the chat. You see an icon on your right that just shows question mark. Click on it, and then you'll be able to type your questions, and hopefully it will be a question I'll be able to read. There's no way we can take all of them, but we'll do as many as we can today. Ben Tricks 5001. So guys, do me another favor. Type your full name. When you have names like Bentrix, right? You want your name to last long in Dr. Cosmas' mind, right? So instead of Bentrix 5,000. Just start the question by saying, my name is Stephen Akintayo. Then go to your, particularly when your username is not your name.
Yeah.
Right? So it's Bentrix 5001 says, for a young man who just graduated from university, what is the best option? Japa or start a business?
Okay, beautiful one. I am very interested in this. And let me tell the young man, it is the state of your mind that will determine where you go. Um, um, I was not the only man child that ever existed is Adam. Every other person grew up like a little child, including Jesus, and grew up. But Adam was created a man child. So I was once a young man like you, with no pedigree, nothing, zero, started from ground zero. So it's for you to make up your mind. What is it that makes me happy in life? Where do I want to go? You paint, and that will be your roadmap.
And
What a lot of young people had given up completely, that yes, we have a country that appeared hopeless for young people, and all our young people are just trying to say, where do I go? And frankly, some people have done it in a very desperate way that runs themselves into a problem. This year in April, I was in Laos. Laos is part of the Southeast Asia country. Also, very poor country. I went there for some business. Laos money also is like $1 is like 20,000.
wow.
I could not believe myself that I find a Nigeria in Laos. I said, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Because Laos is like, it's a safe country, no doubt. Has power. They generate electricity as one of their major things. But it's where old Europeans can come and spend 1 week with $500 and have the best life every because of the cost of living. So are you coming here to Nigeria to work in a restaurant? They give you this money. When you change it, Naira is still more powerful than it. Somebody deceived me. The agent deceived me and said you come here. So do I have anybody to connect him? I said the best thing you do is to go back to Nigeria. I can't see it with you here. Please. He talk. I said the area you live, the better for you, because the small cash you have, because the country is cheap, can last you more longer. But you ask yourself, are you going to get job? What are you going to do? So the level of desperation people are living in our country, I think if they apply that desperation, even locally, they will succeed. But the point I'm making is that it depends on the goals you set for yourself, where you want to be. If you have a family, if your family can support you, my advice will be different. Like if you don't have any family, you are starting from ground zero, absolutely nothing. My own advice for you will be a little different. If you have a family who can raise a capital for you, and if you think you are business inclined, because a lot of people want to do business, but let me be very honest that everybody are not called to be a business people, because business for me, in addition to desiring to do it, is a call. You got to have the call for it, because, and how do we know you have the call? we know whether you have the call when it start getting difficult, when it's a situation like you don't know what tomorrow holds, how quickly you throw in towel, because you need to have the resilience that they require to pull through in those dark moments where, you know, you are in agony, but your vision, what you saw, keep you going, keep you waking up every day. Um, um, Optimism and the determination is not what some people can refer to stubbornness. No, it's about a clear sense of direction where you want to go, because everything you claim you believe is going to go through trial for authenticity. Because if you just enter one pipe and come out from the other pipe, nobody can call you an overcomer, because there's obstacles that are going to be in your way that make you feel like this thing can never be done. That's why you have a testimony. It will be sweet, because there are things you overcame to become where you want to be. So, subject to the goals you keep for yourself, you can take a job. You can take a job and do that job like it is your own personal business, because you have one life to live. But you are not going to take that job to work and settle for job for the rest of your life. You're going to take that job, give yourself 5-10 years on this job for the next phase of your life. And if you have a plan, because that job will reward you, pay you for the things you do, but you don't go to that job to settle like you are doing your work. Because if that job is not what you are born to do, you do that job knowing that it's a place that provides you a means of livelihood. But when you go back in the evening, instead of watching television, WhatsApping messages, chatting on social media, you begin to deploy yourself. What do I mean by deploying yourself? Trying to find out who you are, what gift you have that the world is waiting for, that we are waiting for you to supply, and begin to exploit it. Because your job is what they pay you for what you do, but your work is what you do for why you were born. And your job may not make you wealthy, but your gift, which is why you are born, will make you wealthy, because your gift is your work. So you continue to refine and retune your skill, because that's what the world is looking for. Nobody wants to buy, and you are giving people that help solve problem for them. They will give you money and once you come out to pay, people are looking for solution. What solving for them? That's how money. There are some jobs you will take, you will do pro bono. I'm sure many people don't believe. If you have ability to have that level of discipline, there's no.
I've been here for a while. Sorry that the network hasn't been cooperating. I think it's partially because it rained today. And so we have Starlink, we have Starlink, we have MTN. So we have been using MTN. And but hey, hopefully we get him to land on the answer he was given, and we'll take just one more, and then we call it a day. Even though it's been caught in and all of that, I think we've been here for almost 2 hours now. So how many of you have gotten value today? How many of you learned something? How many of you are happy with what you've learned from Dr. Cosmas Maduka so far? Come on, can you show your excitement, your gratitude, and what you've learned? I'm hoping we get him back again. And I think what he was about sharing was very, very insightful and very, very powerful. So, again, can you give us a feedback? How did it go? Were you happy that, and how many of you want us to keep doing this every month with him? Okay? Because for me, one of the things I notice is a lot of young people have not, people you can call role models, haven't been coming out, haven't been sharing their stories. And a lot of our youths are discouraged. Many are not encouraged with the fact that there's possibility that they can grow their future and that they can build a great empire legitimately without cutting corners. And if we don't start bringing people like him up and encourage them to come and inspire you guys, the next generation is very doomed. So for us is that we needed to have these kind of conversations that will inspire, that will encourage a lot of our youths to believe in themselves, to dream big, and to know that they can build their business legitimately. I've met a lot of people. When I share my story that I started my company with just 1,000 Nigerian naira 16 years ago, and we are where we are today, they just don't believe it. And they don't even believe it's possible. Okay? I've seen people say to me, come on, don't lie to us. You couldn't have started your business this, low. But again, when you hear more people like this, listen to people like Dr. Cosmos share their story, I think he convinced you more to know that it's possible. And for us, that's what this is all about. The more we're able to bring leaders like this and you are encouraged, it's all about encouragement, inspiration. We've done 2 parts. I hope he's able to come back. I know that also is a lot on his part, but let's hope he's able to join. But once again, how many of you have been here since we started? You were part of part 1, just type I was part of part 1. If you're part of part 2, the one that just cut off, type I'm part of part 2. And if you're part of part 1 and part 2, just type I was part of part 1 and part 2. Okay, just want to see how many of us have been following this interaction with Dr. Cosmas Maduka since we started. Right, so we've done almost 2 hours with him. And we want to see if we can do the 3rd one. I mean, it can be frustrating with the way it's been cutting and all of that, but let's hope he can come back and we wrap up with the part 3, right? So I can see most of you were part of part 2. Zero property was part of part 1, part 2. It's Rain Student, part of part 1, part 2. Ambassador Obalekan, part 1 and part 2. Media D, part 2. Rod. Okay. So we have, I think, part 2 leading the way. We have people who are part of part 1, part 2, being the major guys who are winning. Happy whether you join part 1 or part 2, because it just cut off. I am hoping we'll be able to find it, and then we're able to upload those part one and part two. That is my hope. And so you guys can watch it. But I'm hoping he can join back and we just have him land on the thought he had and just take one more question and we're done for the day. And, but I'm not sure he's here yet. Let me see. Let me see. Um, yes, Cheeky Harry says, I think he needs to rest. Yep, absolutely. I think the advantage we have is that he's in the US, so it's afternoon time. I think I'm the one that needs to rest because it is 11:26 here in Nigeria, and I have a very busy day tomorrow. Just like I've had today, In fact, I just had. Okay, Joshua said he's joining, so okay, Dr. Cosmos will be joining us shortly. In fact, I had a dinner with some of our leaders celebrating what they've been able to achieve in the first half of the year. And then just rushed from that dinner, quickly got home and got prepared for this. So it's been a very busy day for me. But hey, these are sacrifices that we are making for our generation. I'm not very happy to know that. Because for me, if I don't make this sacrifice for my generation, I'm very conscious of the fact that there's a lot going wrong with my generation. A lot of young people are missing it. And I'm privileged to be able to attract people like this. And if we can get them to inspire the youth, right, it will be my own contribution. So welcome, sir, and thank you for joining again. I think we'll just have you wrap up that last question, then we'll take one more question, and then we'll call it a wrap for this month. Don't worry, next month, guys, we'll be back again. This is July, so hopefully in August, we'll be back for more questions. But we'll have you wrap up on this question, then we'll take one more final question, and then we'll wrap up. But I think the last thing I heard you say was investing $100 million into a particular company. So you can pick it up from there, sir. Welcome back.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that the last thing I think I said was that we many times set unrealistic goals for ourselves. I will encourage young people, because don't intimidate yourself with the goals you set for yourself and have too much expectation and give up on your life. What Bible asks us to do is to have desire. I am a great believer to emphasize the need to have desire. Your desire is the egg you bring in the equation. You must have. What I hate with young people is to live a planner's life. Whatever the day or the year throws at me, that's how God wanted. It's not correct. Even Jesus, the Son of God, struggled with his assignment. If he did not, he prayed and said, Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass away from me. But nevertheless, it's not only what I want that matter. I want to live in your perfect will. I bring my desire under subjection to your will. You must have plan that you come to God for. That is the fire that burns in your bone that will take you to where you want to be. So have plans, have ambition, aim high, but don't drive yourself to discouragement. Talk to people like us who will tell you in future, I will also tell some of you that I have lived a life where I couldn't pay my house rent, where landlord kicked me out of the home, where I literally am married and I couldn't get food. It's part of all these goals and ambitions that I've set myself. So what makes the magic is that determination. When I talk about it, determination that because I saw something, the thing I saw were being subjected to trial and nothing could make me take a no for answer. And I fought back, including dropping my mother on the road when she questioned my goal of where I wanted to be in life. I never compromised. Now, talking about where to invest, I invested in Access Bank, not the Access Bank Ike and Herbert run. I invested in Access Bank when they were just coming from Boma Road in Apapa into Victoria Land. The person that took me to Access Bank was Tokumbo Arumore. He used to be in Guarantee Trust as a general manager. He moved here and knew me, know who I am, and spoke to me to invest in Access Bank. I acquired a share in Access Bank. I was holding over 24.5% of Access Bank at a time. Actually, if Ike and Herbert decide to give me the credit, I was instrumental. I brought them into Access Bank, frankly speaking, open, secret. Okay. The rest is history. What has happened in that place. But I choose investment. I don't have any star or magic to know which one is going to go well. When MTN came to Nigeria, I put $5 million in MTN. It was a sweet investment in the first 1 year or two, when they were getting 1 billion, when sometimes you get a dividend, $600,000, because the investment was made in dollar and the earnings comes also in dollars. Sometimes you get one, it was in 3-4 years, it pays off. But it's not been so with people who invest in other telecom company. There are people who, I don't think people who invest in the original Econet were as lucky as those of us who take those chances. When it happened like that, I remember I feel $10 million I canceled. I adjusted my hand again. So now when it become good, I begin to say, why didn't I leave it from what it originally? But it could have been the other side. So you must take chance when you don't start speculating in investment, because some of investment, if you are not sure, there are people who had created wealth purely not trading, just putting money in investment. It's like gambling, because there's no official means for you to know, but you allow your instinct to lead you. But I'm a great advocate to have something you are doing so that you don't dance naked. Because those investments could go wrong. Don't take a risk you cannot discount, so that you can always have a fallback position. Then make some of this investment. If they pay back well, it becomes an eyes on the cake. It replicate the whole thing you are doing, make your life more easy. But don't focus on it. So there's no one place that is it. My strong advice is have something you are doing on a daily basis. I am also not a great advocate about being a contractor, because being a contractor, you don't have anything you are doing is subject to contract being available, or you are mortgaged by politicians that you have to go and sleep in their house every day, lick their ass to be able to become somebody and things like that. But if you have a going concern where if there's no public holiday, you know what is due to you in that economy in terms of business, it is the best thing that can happen to you. Then you can also speculate in other things. If they're coming together, then it becomes something. So I didn't invest in Guardian Express in Access Bank alone. I invested in Access Bank and I later floated a bank called Guardian Express. I used to own 78% of Guardian Express. Okay, so P2B was my partner. He owned 10% of it. Unitele, later Co Unitele was one of our directors. Honda, Ambassador Honda was our chairman, and Eddie Orange Drug also owned 10%. About 4 or 5 of us, own it. That was the institution that later became a Spring Bank that I sold its share, and made a fortune out of it. You never know. Bible said, put things in different places because you never know where they are going to come. But I have my core business. And if you want to know today, frankly speaking, I have discovered something I am doing that I never did something at that level in Nigeria. But I started in Nigeria. Nigeria gave me the base. So there's nothing that say any Nigerian company cannot be quoted in New York Stock Exchange. But if you start in New York, you will not succeed. The house rent cannot give you. So look for you have a competitive advantage to start. But as you now begin to progress and find muscle, then go where it's happening, where the economy can pay you back because you have a muscle to compete at that place. If you start from that place, you will disappear because you are moving into a well-established economy where they are doing maintenance. They are not constructing. The economy is built, everything is built. So people don't know. There was people, I tried different things. I've even invested money in making movie in America. All that they tell me, he made 300 million. This one made 500. But nobody told you